Yesterday's video that I posted was actually filmed yesterday, but the video that you're about to see was filmed just minutes after, or an hour after taking delivery, with my initial thoughts on the G&L L-1000 that I'm holding right here. The video I posted yesterday, those were my thoughts after sleeping on it for 48 hours and having a little bit more time to play the bass. I'll admit to you that I was a little bit harsh on this bass. I cut some of that stuff out because I felt it was necessary, because I changed my mind, and that was why I posted the video that I posted yesterday, if you guys aren't confused yet. But what makes this video different is I also will get into some of my thoughts and my points about the strengths and weaknesses of each of these basses. So in this video, you're not only going to hear more from this bass, you're going to hear my initial, like the very first time I ever plugged it in and played it in real time on video. You'll also hear it being basically sound tested with the mics from the iPad. I won't do that again because it just didn't really come out sounding the way I wanted it to. Either way, you're going to hear this bass, of course, the 1966 P bass, the 2007 Jazz Bass, and the ATK700, the Ibanez. You're going to hear all my fretted instruments against each other, or at least the electric ones, and we'll go from there. Here's this Ibanez ATK700. I would actually say that after the acoustic electric bass that I currently own, that I've owned for quite some time now, this has been the second best deal that I've ever gotten on a bass. I scored on this, okay? This was before like the hype came out and people started going crazy over it. It came with a custom Ibanez case. I don't think I paid more than 500 bucks for it. So it was a steal. When I got home and started playing, I was like, oh my God, because it sounds great. It records really well. To me, it sounds better than my P bass. People would argue that, but I just got this one today. This one just got delivered. To my surprise, it got delivered early. At first, I couldn't get the case open, and it was looking like I was gonna have to just take it over back to Guitar Center and return it. But now, I put a little elbow grease into it and I got it to open. So we don't know if it was locked or not. The key that was inside of the case doesn't seem to want to go back into the keyhole, which is kind of odd. But here we are. So this is the G&L L-1000. It does not have the paperwork. I was told over the phone that it had the paperwork in the case. It does not. It is not properly strung either. So these strings should be, you kind of want it to go in and work its way up so that all of these strings are level coming off the nut. You don't want a string going down like this one and then the others are kind of going, they need to be completely level for your intonation and everything to be correct. So let me go on and play it for you and let you guys hear for yourselves. Just looking at the bass, there doesn't appear to be a scratch on it. There's this weird thing in the wood here. So you see those marks there? It's underneath the lacquer finish. The whole thing has a lacquer finish on it. So it's not like my P bass. It's more like this bass where you feel the gloss all throughout the instrument, okay? Six bolts in the back, beautiful finish on it. I love a natural finish. I've always wanted one of these basses. And with everything that just happened with G&L closing, I felt that I had lost my opportunity to get my hands on one of these. Now, I had played an L-2000 and it was a tribute, and I wasn't really impressed with it. It was a little too chunky. Well, this neck is just slightly less chunky, but there's a little bit of, I don't know if you can hear that. So I'm gonna play it right now. I've got everything turned up, and I've got this toggle switch here in the up position, okay? So let's just jam out with it a little bit. I'm trying to think of a good, slap, I'll give you the slap. Okay, there it is in the up position, and I will definitely get, you know what, while we're at it, let's give it the pick. I prefer a flimsier pick, but okay, let's go into the middle position. I think I just hit it by mistake. Let's go back to the up position. And let's go all the way down. Okay, that's all the pick you're getting, and you probably aren't going to get any more slap either. I'm just really, so I'm going back to the middle. The thing about this bass that relates to Fender, a lot of their basses, not all of them, because that, I think it was an American Professional or Ultra, I don't remember, but go back and look through my videos and you'll see a little bit of shameless self-promotion there, but seriously, because every time I try out one of these instruments, it's always a different feel. Certain instruments just speak to you, and then others, you feel like you're struggling with them. You feel like you're kind of, granted, I didn't warm up at all. You're seeing me loosen up in real time. And it generally takes me at least an hour before my hands really unlock and I can really just take any instrument and just do as I wish with it. But that's not happening right now off the cuff. It's not happening like right off the bat. The Sonnenberg, man, that thing spoke to me. I haven't had a bass speak to me like that in years, really. So I know some of you may be screaming at this video saying, well, then go get it, you idiot. Well, you know what? I have to consider my budget. Let's just say that. My budget is an issue here. And you're probably thinking, well, you know, you just bought this instrument here. Well, if I would have fallen in love with this instrument, right off the bat, then I would have immediately decided to sell some instruments. And sadly, this one here would be one that I would probably end up selling. So if I take on a new bass, 2 more basses have to go. What do I have right now? I have the first Ibanez that I ever owned, which is somewhere right behind me. Actually, I don't know where I put it, but the first Ibanez that I ever, my first bass ever, I'm not gonna part with it. I wouldn't get much more for it anyway. It's a Pro Line series bass. It's a very metal looking Ibanez bass. You know, I'm not gonna get rid of that. So I almost don't wanna count it, but I have to. So that's my very first bass. I won't get rid of it. The other bass that is my burial bass, or I don't know if I would have it cremated, but is my Padula. And that one I don't want to get rid of, because that fretless bass speaks to me more than any other fretless I've ever played. A close second would be the Stingray, which you guys have seen videos on. So that is bass number 3 that I have that I refuse to part with. Of course, there's also the 1966 Fender Precision Bass. I've done so much with that bass. Like, it has been with me on a few tours. It's been on several studio sessions. It is like my go-to recording bass. Everyone wants me to use it whenever I do come into the studio. That one stays with me. I think right now, am I at 5 basses? So see, we're already getting to the point where I'm like, what do I have? And, you know, of course, I have the acoustic electric bass, which was shown in my second video ever. I refuse to part with that. I love that bass. I actually, for a while, thought I'm gonna make this my main bass, but I can't do that. So I have the acoustic electric bass. I think that's 6 basses. And then I have the Fender Jazz Bass, the natural one. I would sell that in a heartbeat. I really would. Like, if I would have been like completely, so the next time I find a bass I really want, these are the basses that will go up for sale. This one will go up for sale. And you know what? So this one here, I will definitely sell. I love it. It's great. It plays great. It plays better than this G&L. God, I should let you guys hear it. I'll let you guys hear it. So this bass, you know, really, yeah, this is a great bass. This was another cheap, this is a made in Mexico, 2007 made in Mexico Fender Jazz Bass. I love natural finish instruments, and I've always wanted my P bass to be this way. All right, and for those of you who care, Ernie Ball Slinkies, Super Slinky, Hybrid Slinkies, oh gosh, I don't know. The gold pack, that's what's on this bass, I'm pretty sure. If not the pink ones, I don't know. I can't remember, but my favorite Ernie Ball strings are the gold pack. Guess what? I'm gonna get them for you just so you can see it for yourself. Give me just a second. Turned out that these strings were actually in the case for this bass. So this is the 1966. People ask me, what do you have that? Do you have flats? No. 4 years ago, October or November 2021, just before going on stage for a tribute gig, well, not just before going on stage, but maybe a week beforehand, I strung this up with some roto sounds. So these are roto strung. I think the green is a giveaway there, but these are old roto sound strings. You hear how this one's just not as hot? But boy, does it I have to admit, she does Oh, this bird performs, and she performs quite nicely. This is not relict. This is real stuff. This was kind of bad, but it got worse while I was on the road. Sweat, buckle rash. A few times I dragged it across the stage, did some crazy stuff. Came with this crack in the right here at the headstock. So this is the 1966 Fender Precision Bass. This is the bass that everyone's like, if they know that I have it, they're like, bring that bass. When you track, bring it to the studio with you. Don't come with anything else. We don't want to hear anything else. We just want to hear the P bass. Just to let you guys hear everything. I'm not going to do any fretless today, but I will let you hear this ATK really quick and you'll see why I like it so much. Also, I want to show you something. I was talking about how this G&L was not strung properly. I strung this bass myself. I strung it up myself and I used these strings. So these strings are what you're hearing on this bass. They've been on this bass for easily 2 years, maybe 2.5 years. These strings have been on this bass. So that's why these are my go-tos now. I love them. I love these strings. So if you guys are ever wondering, I'm not big on flat wounds. To tell you the truth, I've never purchased a set of flat wound strings for any of my instruments. Now I've had the Fender Jazz came with flat wounds on it. I took them off and put the round wounds on there. The Padula, which people are always saying, oh, you need to, that has round wounds on it. It has GHS pressure wound strings on it, okay? The P-Bass, you know, is Roto Sounds. The 2019 Music Man Stingray Special Edition fretless, I don't know, Ernie Ball Reserve, that one has flat wounds on it. It came with flat wounds on it. I think those are Labella flat wounds. I'm not sure. It plays nicely. It sounds nice. I don't really have any plans to change the strings on it anytime soon. Let you hear this really quick. Right now I've got it in the middle position just for if you care. And these are all turned halfway. So, I mean, this bass, you know, honestly, it would be a shame to get rid of it. My pinky fingers cramping up or doing something weird. So the point that I want to make. So the point here that needs to be made is, first of all, we all know this. This is kind of a common sense thing, but you can only play one bass at a time. At the same time, on top of that, you can only devote so much time to perfecting the instrument that best suits you. Now, this would be argued by the fact that I have a strong love for the fretless bass. It will not go away. I must have a fretless bass in my lineup. But to have, honestly, in my opinion, to have more than 3 fretted instruments is a bit redundant. You can find your sound in just one. My Precision Bass is like the people pleaser bass. It's the studio engineer and producer pleaser bass, okay? It's the bass that can go anywhere in any style of music. Doesn't matter if it's metal, funk, jazz, blues, standard rock. It doesn't matter. Punk rock. It doesn't matter. Industrial rock, industrial metal. The P bass is accepted everywhere. Now I'm gonna make a separate video about that because it's crazy. Everywhere you go, the P bass gets through the door because it's like the Stradivarius of basses. Like it's just like your standard, you know, you show up, you don't see all this crazy stuff going on with violins, cellos, and double basses, and you name it. You don't see that. They have one style that you typically see them in. Have I seen them painted before in different colors? Absolutely. But most of the time, that standard color gets it done. I'm gonna let you guys hear it. And I'm gonna tell you. So out of the basses that you've heard, I think I played 4 fretted instruments. 2 of them, the 2 Fenders, are passive. Oh, and so is this. So this one and this is the only active bass that you heard. And that was another thing that made this one more appealing to me. And another reason why I also like the Sonnenberg, because I'm pretty sure that Sonnenberg is a passive, the one that I played, the California TT4. So I'm gonna tell you right now, this is the honest truth. You know, I'm gonna restring this bass. I'm gonna restring it. I'm gonna check the intonation. I'm gonna get it set up right while I have some time and live with it a little bit. I know I'm sitting here telling you I'm gonna let it go, but I think I owe it to myself and to this community to see what can be done with this bass, because one thing I really like about it is I'm really digging this pickup. I mean, this is a passive pickup. So, like, my first impressions of this bass, I'm not crazy about the feel of the neck, but it's growing on me. As I keep playing it, it's growing on me. It's been a while, no tapping. So, this is a solid bass. These were becoming $2,000 without the original case. They were just a gig bag. Sweetwater was asking $2,000 for these. I do feel a chip in the back of the neck. There's a very small chip right here. Not a big deal, not a deal breaker. But yeah, I mean, more than anything, I love the look of this bass. I know it's not for everyone, but the look of it is very, very nice. Kind of little buzz up here. Like I said, I need to check it out. The neck, honestly, it could use a tad of relief, just a tad bit, but I'm not gonna mess with the neck. I'm not gonna mess with the truss rod, in other words. Just this bridge, I'm gonna mess with that a little bit. Just make sure the intonation's straight. Once again, if you guys didn't know this already, I am not an expert at that stuff, but I have fiddled with it a little bit, and I will do that here. Sounds great and feels great up here, these first 5 frets. You know? territory, really. Yeah, it's a wow. So something seems a little off with these knobs. When I'm turning this knob, it's going like this as I turn it up and down, which is kind of weird to me. But here they are, and they look, in person, I expected them to look a little, it's like this one here is, these other two turned all the way up, they're pointing straight up. So something has been fiddled with right here. I don't know what's going on there, but people, so there will be a conclusion to this video, but somewhere out there, oh yeah, this thing needs some adjusting. Somewhere out there, there is one bass to rule them all for all of us. And right now, just the fact that I don't have to plug it in, that is probably my acoustic electric bass. But I have these memories, and I wish I wasn't this way, but I'm sentimental about my instruments. Like, you know, keeping my first bass, keeping this P bass, because it was sort of a gift to me while I was recording in the studio, working on an album where I was not totally pleased with how the bass was sounding on the album, and we went back and retracked everything, and that it has followed me through the most meaningful points in my musical career. That's why I hang on to that old P bass. But instruments like this one here, I don't have much of a history with it, so I don't have that same connection with it. And I don't have that connection to the jazz bass. Like, I could let those go, no problem. That's why, you know, if the house is on fire, I'm not running back in to grab those. I'm running back in probably to grab that acoustic electric bass. But more than anything, I think if I had to really choose, I would run out with the Padula. And to some people that'd be like, why would you do that? But that Padula was the first really high quality instrument I ever bought. You know, I put that thing on layaway, you know? A lot of people don't even know what layaway is, but I went there and gave them like a couple $100 and said, please hold this instrument for me. I'm gonna come back and get this instrument and make it mine. This instrument sat there for quite some time. Nobody wanted to buy it because it didn't have lines. It was a fretless with no lines on it, and people were scared of that. But I took the challenge, and, you know, the first studio session with it was a little challenging. The bass didn't come out very well on it because I didn't have the intonation correct. I messed up, and I have to live with that. So anytime I go back and listen to it, I'm like, oh God, why didn't he let me retract? Because I knew it was bad. I asked him, I said, can you please let me retract? He said, nope, you guys are on a budget and a time schedule here, and I'm not gonna let you do that. But still, I stuck with that bass, and after a while, it became my only bass until eventually running into other musicians who were like, that bass isn't gonna cut it. It doesn't fit with our image. You need a different kind of bass. Enter the Stingray. And I played those Stingrays for years, like a solid 5 years. And then one of the same musicians I played in other bands with, he was like, man, you gotta play a P bass. That, you know, this Stingray thing is not you. But yeah, this bass, I'm rambling, but this video is supposed to be about this bass. This is a solid bass. And I love where the pickup is positioned. This is the perfect place. If you can only have one pickup and a bass, this is where it needs to be. This is kind of why the P bass sounds so good. It's in the perfect position between the neck and the bridge. It's right in the perfect spot on the body of the instrument. Thanks for watching this video. If you made it this far, it is a long one. Love this pickup. Like the way the bass sounds a lot. definitely digging the tone of the instrument. Just got to work on the feel and yeah, see it work, see how it feels in a little bit, and I'll determine whether or not I want to let go of some other instruments.